Hello, my people. It's another episode, and it's so good to have you here. If you're tuning in from China and India, I say you're welcome. And for my favorite listener from Nigeria, it's always good to have you on every episode. So recently, I was reading my previous note from my personal devotion, and I perceive strongly that someone needs to hear this. The angel you don't know is much more better than the devil you've always known. So embrace new beginnings and do it with all gracefulness. Take those steps in faith and stop clinging to the devil you've known. Because the devil what you don't know, what don't do you? Nothing evil. Okay, good. So on today's episode, I want to talk about something I've taken personal. I've taken it personal, and I believe that some of us too have taken those things personal, and I craft it under solo decisions. You know, those decisions in your life where you have to step out in faith, trusting God, even when no one understands you. Okay, so let me take you to Genesis. Genesis chapter 11, towards the end. It was a story of Terah leaving a particular place to Canaan. The goal was Canaan. So he went with Abraham, Lot, Abraham's wife. They set out to Canaan. But when they got to Haran, they settled. Like, they became comfortable, so they settled. So getting to Genesis chapter 12, verse 2, God was telling Abraham, leave your father's house to the land I'm going to show you. And it was like he needed to move without consulting Sarah, consulting Lot, and seeking for their permission. There was that necessity. I have been in those phases in my life, and I'm sure you as my friend and listener might have been in those kind of phases in your life, and it seems like, do I have to explain myself or do I just have to move? We'll talk about what you can do and what you should do, and why you should even bother less about some things. Okay, so some life decisions must be made, and they must be made alone. Not because we don't trust our loved ones, but because God is leading us on a personal stretch. Like, God is leading you on a personal stretch. You don't have to but when Lade was about to do this, she told me, Lagbaja told me. Relax. Sometimes God is leading us into a personal stretch. So I remember that day I left to go Moshe for Ibadan. Oh my God. I wish I could tell someone that, okay, I'm moving. I needed to leave. I was losing my mind. I was asked to change environment, but I was like, nobody wants me to leave. Why will I leave my father's house? Why? They are feeding me. They are not sending me away. I had a job in Ibadan that was waiting for me, but I was comfortable at home. But you know what? That Sunday I left, and that journey has been strategic to what I've been able to do over the years. That was 2020, by the way. And one thing is, I was certain God was going with me in that journey. I was certain, because I go much at Ibadan. Like, I was living to a new town where I literally don't have family members that I could actually stay with. I don't know if I was going to stay with a friend, but I just set out. But I got a friend to stay with for like 3 months or so. But that day, leaving Ogumosho that day was a step of faith for me. I could not tell anybody, and I could not explain my move. Yes, the world is dangerous out there, and there's kidnapping, there is this, that. But when we're stepping out in faith, there are some things we really have to do, and do it by ourselves. Proverbs 3:5-6 remind us to trust in the Lord with all our hearts and lean not on our own understanding. He said, in all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. While the Bible encourages, another thing is that it's so good to seek counsel. Like, yes, I have to tell this. Please seek counsel when you have to. Emphasis on when you have to. I'm not stubborn, but I could be stubborn when I'm cleared on what I need to do. So it came to a point in my life that I realized that I'm telling people in my life about something, not because I need their approval, but because I just want to inform them. I want them to know that I'm going to do this, or that I have done this. It wasn't because I wanted them to approve of what I wanted to do. So While the Bible encourages seeking counsel, too much advice can sometimes paralyze action. So you seek a counsel from A says no, B says yes, D said maybe, and you are confused. Instead of taking an action, taking a risk, you end up not doing anything. While seeking counsel is profitable when you're making solo decisions, it is important for you to trust God and don't lean on your own understanding. Okay, think of Noah. God called him to build the ark alone. Imagine he had to sit down his wife and children like, I'm going to build a ark. It's going to rain one day, and that would they will not definitely understand. So he needed to set out. Imagine the ridicule, the doubt from others, but his obedience not only led to his own salvation, but also to the salvation of his household. So sometimes God makes your friend, your loved ones, your family member, your siblings to take a solo decision just to save you, just to preserve you, just to make a place for you. But that moment they are making it, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do that without telling me? Also, there are some life decisions that are better done solo, like a career move. Have you ever had a friend who suddenly took a bold step, starting a business, moving to a new city, or switching careers? If they're telling you, I studied medicine in school for 7 years, but now I want to consider a career in data analysis, be like, are you whining me? You want to live 7 years to invest in data? You definitely will not understand why they are making that decision. So that is why they're just like, okay, I'm not going to tell my friends. I'm not going to discuss it with them. I'm going to make a move. And when the testimony is ripe, I'm going to update them. Are you like, she got married without telling me? I was not even part of her Chevy squad. Can you see? This is as personal as it is. Oh my God. See, as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. So some of my friends got married. I didn't even have a win days at Chevy or something or anything. I just, some told me like 4 days to their wedding, a week to their wedding, 3 weeks. I'm like, excuse me, you did introduction. The guy proposed to you, you said yes. Somehow, you're telling me you're not aware you want to get married a particular month. It's painful. Like you're like, no, I didn't expect that. Babe, this girl will do this. Afana. But when you look at it, it's their life. They are making important life decisions and they feel that's the best thing they can do at that point. And if you ask some of them, they are going through a whole lot that they can't even explain to you. It could be family drama. They're going through a whole lot and they cannot explain it. So, it is not a rejection of you. It is not them despising the friendship or the relationship they have with you. It is the decision to bet on themselves and God's leading. They're just betting on God. God told me this. You know, God said, I'm so bastardized that we don't even want to say God asked him to do this anymore. We just want to do it. And when the result comes, we're like, okay, we can approve that God actually asked you to do this by the results. So because of this, people keep quiet. That's why you're like, oh, well, why would they leave the country without telling me? We were still talking at the last night. There are some friends that will relocate and tell you their flight time, their day of flight, the airline they are going with. They trust you to that level. But there are some friends that will still make similar choices like that and they don't want you in the picture. It's not like they don't love you. They are taking a bet on themselves and God's leading. That is their own way to be sure that it is God leading me. They want to see resume themselves, so they are scared. They don't want to share and have big testimony with you. So they needed every strength to go through that journey alone and be able to come back and share testimony with you. Susan, I've offended you. This is what happened. I wish I can explain while I was going through this process. It's even more painful if these are friends that you were reaching out to when they were in those seasons, like you were talking with them consistently. And it doesn't just occur to them that they are supposed to bring you at par with it. Faith work. Okay, think about Abraham. He had to leave his father's house without a clear map of where he was going. How many people does he have to explain that to? Okay, I'm leaving, no, but I don't even know where I'm going. But I shall leave. They come out. It's very funny, but there are also instances like that in our life that we move not because we are sure, but because we trust God. Yeah, so I made a crazy move recently and I know it was crazy because It was crazy. That's just what I can say. At this point, I've not been confidently able to tell a lot of people why I did and why. But I had to, and I'm grateful I did. I'm super grateful I did. So some journeys with God don't come with group tickets. It's not a general flight. This is me and God. Sorry. I love you. I love our friendship, but this is my decision to make. So they require personal trust. Is you trusting God? Sometimes God calls us to a fast and a prayer retreat or a new spiritual discipline that others may not understand. When Daniel chose to pray despite the king's degree, he stood alone, but God honored him. And when we go forward and we go backward, it is either your problem or still your decision. See, that thing you're doing alone, it's your problem or your decision. And the consequence, you are to bear it alone. So that is something about decisions. Whatever the consequence is, you bear it. That your parents made a decision for you does not mean they are going to bear the consequence for you. That your sibling partner in a decision with you does not mean they are going to join you in the consequence. It's your life, first of all. Oh, it's your life in God, first of all. And the consequence that comes with it, God working with you, yes, but you have to bear it. It's like, he learned obedience by the things he suffered. Even Jesus, he learned obedience by the things he suffered. So, do it alone. Take those decisions in faith and with so much grace. And even if, so a girlfriend of mine reconnected with her ex and they got married. When they reconnected, I was not aware. Do you understand? When they did the introduction, I was not aware. But when they wanted to get married, she told me. I was like, oh, Susan, I'm getting married. Like, who is the guy? I said, it's... I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? This guy did this and this and this. Why are you reconnecting with him? Why are you even getting married? I told my discipler, I told my parents, we've talked about it. He won't do that again. I also had my thoughts. This is that. I was scared. I think that was one of the weddings I went for, and I was really scared. But hey, God, I beg. Your ex did this, but this one you're reconnecting and getting married. But you know what I learned? She took that decision as a bet on herself and God's word to her. Whether it's her personal convictions from God or her own personal convictions and belief in life, she took a step that she feel was the best for her. I attended the wedding, but I did not go to the church. I have my reasons. Like, I did not go to the church because the church will ask me. I know she'll listen to this. She'll be in my DM. I did not. I traveled for a wedding. I did not attend the church service. Does anyone have a reason why we should not join this to matrimony? I didn't want to be a witness. I was really happy for her, but it was a solo decision. She was taking a step of faith. Like, it was so deep that by that I was asking her, babe, is this forever or whenever? This marriage you are getting into, is this a forever thing or a whenever thing? Other girlfriend were like, Susan, what's your problem? I like, she knows why I'm asking this question. But you know what? Whatever those solo decisions are, take it. Take those solo decisions. Take it. Reconnecting with your ex may be an instruction, and not reconnecting may be an instruction. Take those solo decisions with grace. So what should you do as a friend? What should you do when your friends make solo decision? Instead of feeling left out, recognize that their decision may be their faith move. Pray for your friend and embrace the distance. Okay, so there was this particular friend of mine I was praying for from November, December 2024. I didn't even know he was going through a lot. I saw him, we talked, it wasn't emphasizing something. I'm like, okay, no problem. So when he called recently, I was telling him, this and this happened. I was happy that, oh wow, I was able to pray for him then. Though I was angry, he took important life decisions without telling me. Very important life decisions without telling me. Was I angry? Yes, I was. But do I feel left out? No. At first I was angry, but later I just prayed it off. I like, no, as this is entering into a new phase, I ask that you go with him. I ask that you go with her. And for important like say that I cannot show up in person, I make my friend aware that although I want to be part of this decision with you, I feel it's more like a solo decision you have to make. Loving them from afar may be your way of understanding yourself and not even them. Encourage them. Like, encourage your friend as much as you can. True friendships aren't possess you. They cheer you from the sidelines when necessary. They cheer you from this. Like, we were talking yesterday, and you're telling me right now that you're in the UK. Relax. Lagos to UK is 6 hours, so it's very possible. Don't get offended. Encourage them. Celebrate that new move they had. I was super excited that, oh, yeah, I prayed about this. Whether I brought them in on it or not. I'm happy he made the decision. I'm happy he's fine. I'm happy he's doing good. Although I was angry. I'm telling you, I was very angry. I was very, very, very angry. But you know what? Those time of praying for them, those time of encouraging them was enough to make my heart like, okay, they're doing what is best for them. And when they are ready to talk, they will talk. And when they were ready to talk, they did talk. So pray for them, intercede for their journey, and ask God to strengthen them. Or somebody is going through life, serious health crisis, and some are going through surgeries, and you feel like, why did you didn't tell me when you went to the first phase, the second phase, the third phase? You will not understand. I'm sorry. You will not. So that's why I just needed to put myself on the spot and bet on God. I'm sorry. I really care about what we share, but I just really needed to bet on myself and bet on God. So Jesus himself had moments of solitude, praying in the wilderness, seeking the Father with alone, even if he needed this moment. Even if Jesus needed those moments, there will be those times in our life. Or we have those seasons in our life. Those seasons will exist. So, taking your own solo decisions. What is God calling you to do that requires courage? Quitting that job, moving to a new city, pursuing your PhD, starting a business, getting married, starting a new relationship, moving on, reconnecting with your ex, discussing differences, sitting with your parents. What is God calling you to do that requires courage? Don't wait for full consensus when God has given you clarity. Now, some of us, we like to seek the whole village on a single matter. There was a friend of mine that got engaged, was in a serious relationship, and he didn't even tell me. I'm like, okay. So we were talking one day, and the other two people were talking like, I like, hey, what happened? Then I'm like, I'm in a relationship, it's this year long. I'm like, okay, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. But I'm like, come on, when? And that was it. So, as much as I say it, see, the person I don't know why I'm talking about marriage now. The person you marry, or the person your friends marry, is their decision. It's not yours. Yeah, it is 100% their decision. You're like, but you don't like the guy. It is you that don't like the guy. It is you that have a reservation about the guy. But whosoever your friends marry, it's their decision. You can pray for them, you can encourage them, you can advise them, but it's still their decision to make. Faith is often a solo decision before it becomes a shared testimony. Step out like Peter did when Jesus called him to walk on the water, and take those bold steps that God has placed in your heart. I do strongly know that God has emphasized something to you. I've talked a lot, I've said so many things, I've shared my own pains, I've shared my own struggle. It hurts for your friends taking important life decisions and not telling you. But if you understand that there are life decisions we have to make, there are a lot of decisions I've made, I did not consult anybody except God. And when I was sharing the testimony, like, Susan, when? How? This? Just find somebody leaving their job and they cannot tell you they have to leave their job. because there's no, you leave job when you have another job, but these ones are leaving job without another job. So I need you to take time. You can listen to this 1 or 2 more times to gain clarity. If you have questions, you can send me a mail, you can drop a comment, and I'll reach out to you. If this episode resonated with you, share with a friend who might need this encouragement, and let's go into the new week and the new month with bold faith and courage. Until next time, which will be next month, keep shining, keep trusting, keep walking with God. Before I go, I don't know, I think at least one music minister will listen to this episode. So let me say, I have a concern with the music ministry current, and I don't know why. Let your song be whole, spirit, soul, and body. Okay, so there's this song that is trending, Body of Christ, a call to every one of us. Take your time and listen to Will Be Many by Sound of Salem and Send Me by William McDowell. You realize that these two songs have similar lyrics and emphasis. But if you are discerning, you know the one that ministers and the one that entertains. We are called to do the work of an evangelist, not stand-up music. Yeah, I know February is the month of love. One of the ways to also share love is sharing the love of Christ, preaching the gospel. In Jesus Christ, preaching the gospel. Yeah, that could be your solo decision, right? So yeah, see you next month on Sunday podcast with Susanna Beth'a. Thank you. Bye.